Today, we're super thrilled to have Nayeli from Shape Chicago, and we're going to be discussing everything that you need to know about body contouring. Nayeli is an expert in non-invasive treatments, and she helps sculpt and redefine our bodies.
It's redefined into many different arenas of what it can do. There's the post-op care things that you can go into with body sculpting, and there's like the regular, which is people who don't go under the knife. So it's kind of split into two different types of areas, which I do both. And so it depends on like what you're coming in for to do. But body sculpting is the non-invasive route that you can take to help you achieve your weight loss goals, skin tightening goals, or just sculpting goals in general, depending on what your situation is. Today we're going to be doing the ultrasound cavitation, and that's going to be the one for fat burning. Okay. And then we're also going to do some radio frequency, which will be for skin tightening.
We have the beautiful model Yvette here, so we can go ahead and demonstrate some of the treatments.
It's all painless, and it's just like a quick little, for them, it just really feels like a massage.
All right, guys, so this is for you too.
No face, no case, as they say.
There you go. No face, no case. I like that. I really do like that. Welcome back to another episode of Beauty Talk Podcast, where we will explore all the latest trends, innovations, and insights in the beauty industry. Today, we are super thrilled to have our special guest, Nayeli from Shape Chicago, and she's here to discuss everything that we need to know about body contouring and what we need to do. So she is the expert in non-invasive treatments that help sculpt and redefine our body. She's here to share with us the knowledge and her expertise on this popular topic. But before we dive in, I just want to give a really special thanks to our sponsor, G-Skin and Beauty Institute, and they are in partnership with estheticians.com. Thank you for making this episode possible. G-Skin and Beauty Institute is dedicated in providing top-tier education for the next generation of beauty professionals, with campuses all across Illinois, Nevada, and Arizona. So please visit gskinandbeautyinstitute.edu to learn more. Now let's get started and learn more about body contouring, Nayeli.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming here and for making the trip to the far, far away land.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Super excited to be here.
So give us just a quick little intro on what is body sculpting.
Okay, so body sculpting, as you know, has become really popular over the last couple years. And when I first got here, it wasn't a topic that people really knew what it was. But now it's redefined into many different arenas of what it can do. There's the post-op care things that you can go into with body sculpting, and then there's like the regular, which is people who don't go under the knife. So it's kind of split into two different types of areas, which I do both. And so it depends on like what you're coming in for to do. But body sculpting is the non-invasive route that you can take to help you achieve your weight loss goals, skin tightening goals, or just sculpting goals in general, depending on what your situation is.
Okay, that's super exciting because I know that we all want that, hourglass shape and booty, and we could all use to lose a little bit of weight.
We always have like a little area that you want to fix. Yeah,
definitely, 100%. So what body type concerns do you have, or do clients have, and what are they coming in to address? Like, what are you working on specifically?
We do all body aesthetics. So anything from like neck down, I really focus on. That's our area of expertise. So like if you want to do your arms, if you want to do your thighs, your inner thighs, your cellulite, your booty, your stomach, we do it all.
Yeah, and we even talked about like knees, and, back arms, right? There's so many
bra
areas.
fat, like there's so many, or love handles, like whatever you want to call it.
I didn't even think about bra fat, but
it's everywhere.
Sure.
So we focus, like, so obviously we do a consultation to go over it, to make sure you're the right candidate, and to make sure that we are the right fit for you.
So are there certain age limits, body types? Like, is there something that can be a contradiction to receiving this treatment?
Yes. In the consultation, we will definitely go under medical, conditions and underlying conditions that can prevent you from being a candidate for this. There's a huge list of them, but the main ones are going to be anything that doesn't allow you to create the proper lymphatic system drainage, because when we do the body sculpting, everything's going to be drained out through the system. So lupus, when it comes comes to cancer, lymphatic problems. There's like I said, a long list of them, diabetes, things like that. They are preventing you from doing these services. Now, there are some underlying conditions that with a proper medical letter from your doctor that you are allowed to do, or just like in an observation, and we just kind of get the consent of the doctor to make sure it's okay to go through with it, but we're keeping tabs on how your process is going. And there's some also underlying conditions that we can still do that I list that you can't. It's a case by case scenario, which is why we do the consult first before anything. You can't just book the session. We have to do the consult before we start you.
You should be safe when you're doing these treatments, even though you're not going underneath the knife.
Right.
It's still going to be something that's going to affect your whole system.
It's not natural still. We're still doing something manually with hands or with machines. So you want to make sure that you're okay. Your body is okay to do it.
Okay.
But then also another one is over the age of 16. So with parental consent.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but I mean, because obviously I'm thinking like, what is the 16-year-old going to want? Right? But there's quinceañeras, sweet 16s, and
or graduation, prom, etc.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, here we go. I'm like, parents.
Just bring your mom.
I'm like, parents, ask your dad to bring out his wallet.
Exactly.
That is crazy. So, well, that's awesome and good to know. So I know that there's so many different types of treatments that you could do. So I know that you do a lot of the radio frequency, and there's also ultrasound and like the cryotherapy. So what is like the main difference between all of them?
Okay, so the main one is going to be ultrasound cavitation, which is the one that actually burns and bursts the fat cells into liquid form, so your body can actually detox it. That's the main one we use for fat burning. And then we have the radio frequency, which is actually going to help promote collagen, as well as making the skin firmer and tighter. So that could be done all over the body versus cavitation. It's certain areas that we can and can't do. Okay. There has to be enough fat in the specific area to not affect the bone, because we can affect the bone density if we do for example, I don't have big arms. Yeah. I will never do cavitation on myself because I don't have enough fat, because it's going to hit bone, and we can actually make the bone very dense and kind of burn it down.
Oh my goodness.
So it has to be, that needs to be something that we educate people that it has to be an area that we can and can't do. So we go over those things too.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting, because now that I have so many questions, right? But
go ahead.
It also brought another question to my mind, is like thinking of like when we're going through menopause and like the change and stuff. And
that's a big one.
Osteoporosis. I mean, like I hear a lot of women, and plus now we're also going into perimenopause.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Lot sooner. So then that's also a factor.
Yeah. So we get a lot of clients that have gone through their own weight loss journey, and they're hitting that like stump where they can't lose weight, which is a premenopausal weight gain that a lot of women hit, and they don't even know that they're going through it. And when that happens, it's actually really stubborn fat that it just hits us. And as women, it goes directly to our stomach and then sometimes to our face. Yeah. So that's something that we talk about, okay, how old are you, whatever. And then sometimes like, oh, I don't think I'm going through it. But then you start talking to them about it. Like, you know what? My doctor said that I might be going through it. Or they go to their doctor and ask, and they are going through it. And premenopausal weight gain is really hard to get rid of. So that's why they come to us to help them get over that hump of them feeling like stuck, or like overnight they gain like 20 pounds or something. So so ladies, okay, we're not alone in this journey, because I know that I hear it a lot in my practice, and it's like, I don't know what happened to me. Like I was okay after giving birth to 4 children, and now and then it hit me.
It just hit me, and I can't lose this weight. So, if you need a little bit of help, I mean, we all need help in all aspects of our life, right? But go to the experts and have that consultation, and then maybe that'll also prompt you to ask your doctor. Be more on top, because let's be honest, if we're not advocating for ourselves, nobody else is. Right.
And then, I mean, I understand that like with our generation, we're more about going to the doctor, but like the older generations are really against it. So it's something that I think you should definitely push.
That you should definitely push, for sure. So before somebody starts coming in for treatments, are there like key consideration points? Like, is there something that they mentally have to prepare for, or like what is like?
I think that you shouldn't be. Obviously, you're going to be nervous. It's something new and different. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. But the main thing is, it's a free consultation, so it doesn't hurt to ask, and no question is stupid. you know? So I'm always say, okay, what are your questions before I dive in and educate them? Because the consultation is about obviously getting their main concerns, getting their medical history, and then also going into the education part. Because as I was telling you before, a lot of people come in with all this Google stuff that is like sometimes incorrect or outdated or things we don't do anymore or like things we would never do. And so sometimes people come too prepared and just come in with enough knowledge, or not even, you don't even have to come in with knowledge. I'm there to do it for you and to educate you and to lead you in the right direction. And we will always try to cater the plan to you, because we like to cater each client to a specific treatment. Not everyone's going to fit in a specific box, because everyone's coming in with a different problem.
Yeah, and a different goal, I'm sure, too. So now when I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go and get body contour and I'm going to do this, should I go to the gym first and then come to you? Or do we start at you and then we go to the gym?
It can be either. There's no like preparing for that. I think that mentally is where you need to prepare, because when it comes to body contouring or anything with weight loss, whether you do the shots, the weight loss shots, or you do surgery, or you do body contouring, you have to mentally be ready to start that journey within yourself and that lifestyle change, which is, while a lot of people don't think that this is I do have people that come in and they want us to do all the work for them. And I'm just like, this is not going to work. That's not what we do here. It's not one-sided. And in order for it to have the best results, you will have to do your part too.
Yeah.
So I think mentally is the best way to make sure that you're in that state of mind that I'm ready to make change. I'm ready to not feel and look this way anymore. And I'm ready to like do whatever I have to do to do it, to accomplish it.
Yeah. To commit. I mean, that's really what it is. It's commitment.
Consistency. Don't want to miss all your appointments, you know, because once again, there are clients sometimes that have a busy work life or, you know, kids or family, etc. But trying to come in at least once a week. That's why the minimal thing is coming in once a week, to try and doing the treatments consistently in a weekly basis.
Okay. Okay. That's really good to know. So if you're planning a big event, y'all, we need to
give yourself some time.
Yeah, give yourself some time. Like she said earlier, she's like, I can definitely help you, and there's a lot of magical things that we could do, but it's not all magic.
Yeah, it's like bippity boppity boo. Like, I don't know, I can't do it overnight.
Yeah, for sure. So then I know that you briefly talked about what's happening to the fat cells while you're doing these treatments, and you're saying that they're bursting, we're releasing through lymphatic system, but what does that really mean? Like what's happening?
Pretty much we have different fat layers and different fascia layers, right? And as we're doing each treatment, we are bursting the first 3 layers each session. So you'll technically be losing 1/2 inch to 3 inches every single time that you come in. Now, that doesn't mean you can't make more new fat cells. And this is where people like, oh, this doesn't work, because they didn't think about, where that cheeseburger's going, you know, after they did the treatment. Okay. So whether you do this or surgery or anything else with weight loss, you have to understand that you have to keep things the way that they're meant to be, not adding new fat. Your job is to keep fat off. Our job is to burn the fat. That's our commitment together as we work as a team. So once that is being burned off, the fat cells with the cavitation is being bursted and turning into liquid form, where your body's going to dispose of it through the lymphatic system, meaning that you're going to sweat it out and then also urinate it out.
Okay. Okay. So, and are you going to be seeing like inconsistencies or different changes in your bodily fluids or anything like that?
Sometimes, I mean, I'm going to get a little graphic, but sometimes your urine might turn different colors because you're disposing of toxins and fat.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So it could be either, I know that maybe you might drink a lot of water, but it might not be clear. It might just be different colors. You will sometimes go to the bathroom more than usual because your body's detoxing. Once you do the service, you're detoxing for about 48 to 72 hours. So that's why we do treatments 3 days apart from each other. If you're coming in twice a week, you want to give your body at least 3 days to do the next round of treatments.
Okay. And I know that in conversation, and I wanted to really, really highlight this point because I thought that this was so cool. But, and I know a lot of women, we retain fluid, right? And in a month, we can fluctuate 10 pounds on average, right? Based on our menstrual cycle and all of that. So you said something that was super cool. And you said that you actually unblock like the adrenal glands, right? So what is that?
For a lot of people that say and that know that they retain a lot of water, we highly suggest them doing lymphatic detox massages with us first before we do the treatments.
Okay.
Not everyone needs them. But with the ones that tell us that they know that they retain, or the ones when we see that they do, for example, like when you go like this to someone and like it turns really white, you can tell that they retain a lot of water, like on their legs or their arms or whatever. And you're like, okay, we got to do some of these detoxes first.
Yeah.
Open that up for you. That way you can properly detox everything.
Otherwise, it's just going to be like stagnant.
It's clogged. Yeah.
Yeah. And so signs are if you touch yourself and you're staying white, is there other signs that maybe you're not detoxing?
Yeah. So for example, like if you wake up in the morning and your face is like really puffy, and that means that your lymph nodes here and here are blocked. So you should be giving yourself with the gua sha and giving yourself massages to drain out everything. Yeah, because sometimes you're not even fat from your face. It's just you have excess water retention in your face, and sometimes it hangs here, and that's where you got to be able to drain yourself out.
You guys, I'm not going to call anybody out, but you know who we are. Let's just, and I just thought that was like so important because, I talk to women every day, and I know that even in traveling, sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, like I love to travel, but then the swelling after I get off the plane is so intense and sometimes even painful.
Yeah.
So just know that you could even do this. I mean, this is not like shaping or anything, right?
Yeah,
but
it's
this
just
is
for health reasons.
reasons.
It's good for you. It's good to do like once a month after a vacation or after a crazy weekend, just to detox all the toxins and everything, excess water weight out of your body.
Oh yeah, I just love that, and I it wasn't part of the plan today to discuss that, but I was like, this is like essential, and I think that all women need to know this because this can support your cycle every month, and as we get
your immune
into
system too, it gets things out.
Well, there you go. So all the toxins, and especially like I hear a lot of people doing like juice cleanses and things like that, that I'm sure can even accelerate the detox. Or if you're trying to quit a bad habit, like drinking, smoking, whatever, I'm sure this can also support in all of that.
Yeah, because you should be limiting all that if we're trying to do these services.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna say don't do it at all. I'm not your mother, but taking consideration of like limiting as much as possible.
Yeah. Okay, so then once we've already unclogged the detox glands and all of that, the lymphatic system, how many sessions do you think on average like a client should be having for them to see results? What are the results? Are they immediate?
So I get this question a lot, and it will vary depending on every person because we have some people that have very stubborn fat that you'll need more sessions than others. Yeah. There's also people that want to lose more fat than others, so they'll obviously need more sessions. But it's a minimum, I would say, of 6. You need to do a minimum of 6 to really make a big difference when it comes to the fat loss. Because once again, it depends of how stubborn the fat is. But also at each session, you will see immediate results, which is why I love body sculpting. And sometimes I've been doing this for 4 years, and I am still impressed every time when I see like a huge difference in someone's first session. I still get that wow moment, and I love it because I don't get bored. I just see different results all the time, which is awesome. But you'll lose anywhere from half an inch to 3 inches each session. And obviously the goal is for you to keep that for next week.
Yes. So then you build upon it. It's like compound interest,
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the consult, we'll obviously go over specifically how many you would need specifically to make sure you understand the process.
Okay. And then something that we didn't really touch upon was how long are these sessions? Typically, are you mixing treatments? Like what's going on?
So because they are customized, sometimes they can be mixed in together. And then sometimes depending on our plan, we can throw in different 1 week this, 1 week that to help with the process.
Okay.
So we have about 10 different treatments now at Shape that we do. And in the consult, we'll go over obviously the density of the skin, how loose it is, or it depends on that, and also how much fat there is. So really, we have to actually see you to be able to give you the right diagnosis to make sure that we're treating it in the most efficient way, to make sure that we get the results that you want. But I think that it's definitely going to be always a combination of treatments. It's not just going to be one thing for the whole thing.
Okay, that's so good to know. But
to answer the question for the time, it could be anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours or 3, depending.
Okay.
Yes, because say, for example, we're doing your arms. That's 2 body parts that we have to do the same exact thing.
Treatment on.
Same thing for the legs. If we're doing your thighs, inner thighs, cellulite in the back or whatever, that's 2 body parts. So we have to give each leg or each arm the same love.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know so that you can
Mm-hmm.
just plan everything out. But I'm sure that
Yeah,
during the
we'll
consultation, you
go
let
over
them
it.
know
Mm-hmm.
and everybody can get their schedules because we're all so busy now,
Yes.
you
Mhm.
know?
But that's why like at least once a week would be the most ideal. And we're open
Okay.
very flexible hours, like 9 to 9.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to take the day off to work or lie to your boss or have a doctor's appointment or whatever,
Come
we're
into shape real quick.
exactly.
Yeah.
2 hour lunch. We actually do have some people that do that, but they can work on their computer
Yeah.
from our place. But I think it's just keeping in mind, just give yourself that self-care time once a week to do you.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's absolutely essential.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sure that it's as beneficial as meditation, just to give yourself that
Mm-hmm.
1 hour, 2 hours a week just for yourself. So, how long are these treatments actually lasting? Like, if everybody's doing all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
They change their eating habits, they're going to work out at least 3 times a
Yeah.
week or so.
Mm-hmm.
How long can you say that the treatments will last after they're done with the
Well,
cycle?
they should be permanent if you're keeping
Oh.
up with the lifestyle, because obviously we already disposed of that fat, we tighten that skin, and you're doing your part and keeping things with consistency. They should be permanent.
Okay.
Mhm. Just like if you were to go get liposurgery or tummy tuck or all that stuff, you have to keep a maintenance with that too.
Yeah.
There's no medication, there's no surgery, there's no pill, there's nothing that you can't just sit there and do nothing
Yeah.
after something being done to you.
And then would you suggest, like, is this like, okay, we're good for a whole year and then, hey, Nayeli, I think I need like a little tune up.
Yeah, we
Or,
get that all the time.
yeah, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, once we're done with your goal, we usually have people come in once a month for their maintenance, just to kind of keep tabs and just keep things nice and tight and shaped, to make sure that you're on the right track. Because some people need that, like, hey, come
Accountability.
in, accountability. Yeah, like what are you doing? What
1,000,000%.
happened to you last month? So it keeps people in check, and I think
Yeah.
that really helps people who have the best results. They come in to do their monthly maintenance.
Yeah. I think that's absolutely essential. And I know that I'm definitely one of those people. Like, I need somebody to hold me accountable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to be like, oh, well, no, maybe I'll just.
You're gonna hate us at first because we're very like on you, but then at the end, once you're happy with us, like, okay, I know why they were being so hard on me, because
Yeah.
we are.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's also, like I always say, it's like protecting your investment, right? Like, why would you go ahead and buy the package
Yep.
and do all of these things, go to the gym, you start shopping at Whole
But people
Foods
do it all
now.
the time.
Yeah.
Even with surgery, you see people going back to the regular weight or whatever, like 6 months later.
You see them in
Like,
drive through,
Yes.
that next
Yes.
week or something for sure. So I think accountability is everything. And, if you need a team, these girls got your back.
Yeah.
And plus, I also mentioned this to you earlier, but I love watching her stories on Instagram because it's so motivational. Like, she's not just doing this for people, but you're actually living in that.
Yeah.
So she's going to the gym, she's eating healthy, she's going to do all the treatments. You have to have that lifestyle. So if you need motivation, even just the motivation before you get started, follow her on Shape Chicago on Instagram and Facebook so that you can be inspired too, because it's inspiring to me.
Oh, that's nice.
It is.
Well, to me, I feel like, I am the brand, I am Shape. And so in order for you to believe me and what I do, how am I going to be a bad example of like what I do? It's like going to a trainer who is unhealthy and overweight. Like, would you go to that trainer to train you to be in shape?
No,
You won't.
Definitely
So the
not.
people that work with me and that, do what I do in my industry should be the example of what we do.
Yeah.
And I had a baby 2 years ago, and I'm finally back at like pre-mom bod, and it took me some time, but I also shared my journey of like what that looked like, my workouts. I tagged, the places that I would go to, that way people can see that I'm actively doing something. It's not just body sculpting. And then I get sculpting once a week, and then, I do different treatments on myself, and obviously changing my lifestyle. So I think it's just doing things to set the example. Now, I'm not going to lie and say here like I'm like perfect. I have my treats here and there, but I think it's just things in moderation, and then being able to have a good balance.
Yeah. And you also mentioned something, because I'm sure a lot of people ask you, like, oh, you must do these treatments every day.
Oh, I wish.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't even have time to do ourselves. Like, we literally, the girls will fight each other. Like, okay, who can we do? Like,
Yeah.
because we all want to get done and we don't have the time to do
Yeah.
ourselves.
So then how often can, like, okay, this is another question,
Yeah.
right? That we asked, that it's like, I'm getting married in 3 months. How often can I have these treatments done?
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Okay. And that gives the system enough to
Time to
drain
recover
and
drain
all
out.
of that.
And detox.
But ideally, if you're getting married or you're going on this big vacation or whatever it is, when do you want to see us?
Well, I for sure at least give us like, if it's the least possible, at least 60 days.
Okay.
2 months, but ideally 3 to 6 months
3 to
when
6
you want to start planning like what your goal is, especially if it's a big amount of weight that you're trying to lose, at least 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I say like summer bodies are built in the winter. So come see me now if you want to be ready for summer 2025.
Yes.
And
Or your weddings, you
whatever
guys, like
you
all
wanna
of that.
do,
Like
but
spring
next
is like
year.
around the corner. I mean, we're
Yeah.
not even in winter, but spring is coming. That's wedding season.
Yeah, and that's also vacation time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's something that you want to give yourself time to not feel so rushed and stressed. And like sometimes stress doesn't also let you lose weight because of the insulin resistance. So there's a lot of factors like you want to be able to do this with a calmness and a steady way, which is what I gave myself. I gave myself like from January to August to be able to hit my goal, because I know that I won't have sometimes time to get sculpted myself.
Yeah.
I won't have time to go to the gym all the time, like more than twice a week. So it's just, I gave myself that leeway. That way, if I hit it sooner, great. But if not, then I hit that timeline. So
At
you
least.
want to, yes.
Yeah.
You want to give yourself some grace too in the process.
Okay. So, and also like, what are the common misconceptions that you hear about this treatment when they're trying to do like spot reductions or like little areas? Like, what do you feel like are the most common things that come?
Well, I think the biggest one is that they think it's just one and done.
Yeah.
They think, oh, I thought you can get rid of this in one treatment. I'm like, you think you can get rid of this with $200 one time? Like,
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
Like you've had this for 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
we're miracle workers, but not that much. Like,
Yeah.
there's some unrealistic expectations, but that's the biggest one, that they just need like one treatment. And I'm just
Okay.
like, no, sweetie. I mean,
Okay. So when somebody comes in and tells you like, hey, I have 1 week before my wedding, I want to
I
have
literally
J-Lo.
have clients that like this week and last week that have done that to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just imagine that.
Yes.
So then you inform them and you say, listen,
I'm
this is what I could
realistic.
do. 2 sessions.
Yeah.
This is what we can achieve in these 2 sessions.
Yeah, so I'm realistic, and I don't give them, false expectations, because I want them to also be happy with me. And like, this is the most I can do. Like, we could
Yeah.
do 2 actual body sculpting sessions, and then we could do like some saunas or some lymphatic massages, etc., to try to help detox and like, get you as snatched as possible in the 48 hours that you need.
Yeah.
So
So
we
then
do our best.
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm happy that they even have like an option. So like if you are like last minute kind of girl, like they can at least do a little something.
There's a little
there's a little something.
Yes.
That's so good
So
to know.
DM us or call us, and we'll be able to get you in.
Yes. I mean, that's because we're all like that instant gratification kind of culture anyway. So I think that's essential to know. I mean, definitely plan this stuff around you
Yes,
guys,
please.
because you need to work out,
Yeah.
drink the water, eat well,
Yes,
all of those things. But just know that she has your back, or somebody from her team, which is trained by her,
Yeah.
will have your back. So when we're considering the contouring, what is like the main difference that you say, okay, I'm either going to do body contouring or I'm going to go and get a little lipo? What is like the main benefits and, from doing this non-invasive rather than going under?
So that's a big one. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a few points. The first one is obviously finances.
Yeah.
Anywhere like a tummy tuck or lipo is going to cost you anywhere from like 5,000 to even 20, depending on like what you're getting done and all that stuff. So finance is the big one, because we're going to be a lot more affordable, cost efficient for you versus that. That's the big one. Second is, how much time do you have to recover? With work or with kids or daycare, etc. Because when you go into surgery, you do have, it's not just surgery and then you go back to life. Like, you're recovering. You have to get your massages. There's a whole bunch of like post-care protocols you want to do after your surgery. Do you have that downtime?
Yeah.
Do you have daycare? Do you have someone to help you? Because sometimes there are people who are like literally like they can't get out of bed by themselves.
Yeah.
And there's some people that like nothing ever happened. It's just everyone's tolerance of pain is also different. So it's just considering those factors. Not that I'm against surgery, because we do post-op care, But you also have the options on like what fits your lifestyle, what fits your budget, and also what your beliefs are. Some people are against surgeries and some people are for it. And I'm for both, whichever one. But we give you options. We give you whether you want to do the weight loss shots like Ozempic and semaglutide and all that stuff, or we give you the lipo-dissolve shots, or we do body contouring, completely natural and holistic. So when you come in, we offer all these different things, and everyone's going to fit into a specific department on whatever they want. And so then I think those are the main key factors that'll separate you on like what way you want to go. Because those are the factors that will really be the big difference from one from another. Obviously, the non-invasive thing is the biggest one because one, you're being cut open, the other one, you're not. And then there's no downtime for body sculpting. You can go right to work or right to your normal day activities right after a session.
Right after that. Okay. So then in talking about like the lipo and all of that, we were also talking about loose skin.
Yeah.
And something that I thought that was really weird that you also mentioned, but it's been like something that it has been coming up in conversation a lot, but it was like the loose tissue around your knees, right? As we like lose weight and fluctuate and all of that. So, so then lipo does get rid of all the fat, but then what happens to the skin?
Right. So that's a big one that we have a lot of clients come in, like these doctors, they're trying to get the most out of you too. Like, so make sure that you are going to the right doctor that's the right fit for you, because you can get lipo and a tummy tuck together. At the same time. But some doctors will separate it. That way they're also charging you 2 surgeries, 2 anesthesias, like all that stuff. So it's 2 separate costs versus just one, and also 2 different pains. 2 different rounds of like all that stuff. So I have had some that like, oh, my doctor said I can't. Like, I've seen plenty of them that you can. I mean, obviously it's a case by case scenario depending on like maybe their medical conditions or their medical history. But for the most part, you can. And when you do the liposurgery, you're going to also think about what's going to happen to all, especially if it's an excessive amount of the fat that was removed. Where is that loose skin going? Like, it's not going to just retract. It's been years that you've stretched it out and the elasticity is gone. So we do a lot of services for skin tightening to help as much as possible. We're also realistic that sometimes we can do skin tightening as much as we can, but sometimes you're going to have to go chop it off. And I like to be honest about that, because I don't want to give them unrealistic expectations and like, hey, your service didn't work. Like, ours will work. And I show them a little bit of like, we have a lot of before and afters that show them, hey, this is what was done to this client. It's similar to yours. This is what potentially could be done to you. Because also everyone's skin reacts differently. Some people, it will react to the radio frequency really quickly. Some people need more sessions. Some people just have such thin skin that like you need to just go chop it off. And I won't touch it.
That actually, I mean, we have so many other questions to go through, but that brought me into another question, thinking just, different ethnicities. We have different, thickness of skin. So I could see how melanin can be a big influence on how quickly like the skin.
Also genetics. I mean, there's some people, like, for example, like I'm pretty fair skin. My mom's pretty fair skin. I didn't get into stretch marks. And that has a lot to do with genetics and a lot with like how much weight you gained in your pregnancy or whatever, or the weight gain that you did, the fluctuation of like if it was drastic, like going from 50 pounds and you drop 20, like it just really depends. But that has a lot to do with it. Also, the type of like if you're really hydrated, skin could be stretched out. There's so many things that go into like loose skin. But there's something that you have to be realistic about. Like, can it be fixed 100%? No.
Not 100%.
At least, but it'll be like a good enough difference to make it feel more comfortable for the appearance.
Well, and I love that, you're not afraid to refer out and just say, you know what, we can handle this, but we can't handle that. I feel like that's the kind of person that you need on your team. Because otherwise it'd be like you're doing a treatment for nothing.
Right.
And
you do get that. I get a lot of clients like, oh, I got this treatment and it cost me thousands of dollars. And like, I thought it was going to do something different. And like ours is probably like half the cost. So sometimes it's just, you have to be careful about and do research about like what is the best option for you. Because not everything's going to fit for everybody, just like anything in this world. So you have to sometimes try it out. We sometimes don't know.
You just don't know. So talking about all of these like different innovations and things like that, like what would you wish that would be an innovation in your trade right now? What would you want to see in technology?
Technology wise, I mean, we were talking about it earlier, and it's becoming like the iPhones. Like, there's new machines all the time, and it's getting very cost effective as the people that run the businesses.
Yeah.
But you have to be smart in doing the research to make sure that it's like from one machine to another. Is there a drastic change? Do they do the same thing, or they just make it like aesthetically nicer?
Yeah.
So like really digging into knowing like what does each machine do, the different voltage, how much more powerful it is, the science behind it, making sure you do that. And then, but the main thing that I would love in the future would be, I think it would be really cool for us to actually see the fat cells like bursting, or like the fat coming out, or like minimizing the fat layers. I don't know, some like 3D thing or something.
Something to like
Like a
quantify.
screen. Yeah.
Right? To
Be
say
really cool.
this jar is what we took out.
Yes,
Fat cells, or the equivalent to this.
I mean, we do that with measuring you. We measure
Yeah.
you before and after from your first session, your last one, so you can see. But it'd be really cool to see it while we're doing the service, right?
Yeah. So what are like your final like advice or thoughts that you can give to the audience when they're thinking about having these treatments done? Like, what should they do? Is there anything that you just want to leave with them?
Yeah, I think that the whole weight loss journey, or just sculpting journey or shaping journey, I think that you have to give yourself grace, and you have to have patience with yourself and your body, especially if you went through a lot. Whether it's some people, like, there's many different reasons why people come to us, whether it's medical conditions or just for the aesthetics of what you want to look like. And there's nothing wrong with either of them. But I think that you need to give yourself patience and grace that your body is going through a major change, and you have to mentally be ready, because we could take you to the water, but you won't drink it if you're not ready.
If you're not
Because how many times have people started diets and then they fail, or started working out and then they stop, right?
Yeah.
They weren't mentally ready. So you have to be mentally ready to come in and commit on partnering up with us to making sure that it's an equal partnership. You're doing your part, and we're, doing everything that we can.
Yeah.
So once we're on that same mental wave, then I think you get the best results.
That's awesome. Nayeli, thank you so much for all of this information. I think I could sit here for hours and just continue to pick your brain, because even just from us having a conversation earlier, I still came up with so many other questions, which I'm sure you guys have too. But now you know that you can go ahead and set up a free consultation, and you can pick your brain just like we did here. But at least now you'll have like a really good foundation about what you can expect when you go visit Shape Chicago.
Yeah.
So,
and once again, it's free. So there's nothing, it doesn't hurt you to just get more information, and, just being sure you pick the right provider. Like, there's many people that start body sculpting, and then right away they start publicizing that, hey, I'm a body sculptor now. You have no experience, you have no training, you have no practice, right? So just making sure you're going to somewhere where it's licensed and insured, in a proper place, sanitation, like all of that matters. Not like in some basement dungeon place. Like, everyone starts somewhere. I did too. But you want to make sure you're going to the right person, because you can't expect the same results from someone that just started, someone that has 4 years.
exactly.
Right? And we did win this year for 2024, the Master Body Sculptor of Illinois.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah.
I
We hope to
totally
win
saw
next year,
that.
too.
Oh, you will. You have it in the bag for sure. For sure. So I'm super excited to see all your extended growth, and I can't wait to continue to follow you and see all the things that you come up with, and also to continue to receive that motivation that I definitely look forward to seeing in your page. And I'm super excited because today we have a super special treat, and you brought in a model. So we get to see all of this in action. Well, at least like little snippets, because let's be real, like if we wanted
won't
to
be here
see
for 2 hours.
yeah, we don't have the time for that. But today we're super fortunate enough that you did bring a model, so we get to see everything in action. So I can't wait to show you. Okay, so now we have the beautiful model Yvette here, so we can go ahead and demonstrate some of the treatments. And Nayeli, what are you going to be showing us first?
So today we're going to be doing the ultrasound cavitation, and that's going to be the one for fat burning. And then we're also going to do some radio frequency, which will be for skin tightening. And then at the end, we'll do some wood therapy.
Okay, let's get to it.
Alrighty, awesome. So we usually have our models dress as they are comfortable. They could be in their own clothes, or we have disposable underwears and bras, or they could be fully in the nude, whatever they feel comfortable in.
Okay.
We get it all. And so for these purposes, obviously, we want to be as covered as possible, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right, so this is ultrasound gel, which is like what you get when you go get an ultrasound. It's the same gel. We applied this first to be able to glide and for it to actually be able to do the service full around the area.
Okay.
Alrighty, so the first thing, like I said, is ultrasound cavitation. This is going to send sound waves to go through the fat layer so we can once again burst the fat cells into liquid form. That way we can start disposing of it and detoxing. So today she'll lose anywhere from 1/2 inch to 3 inches.
That's exciting. And you always do this one first?
No, there's a different protocol depending
for everybody.
on, for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll depend. But this is the main one for fat burning. And then with this one, you will actually hear a frequency pitch in your ear. We can't hear it, but they can because it's touching theirs. I always let them know, hey, you're gonna hear this, because sometimes they freak out. They're like, what is that noise? Yeah. But it's pretty much the sound waves going through the skin. Okay. And you can't put an AirPod to make it go away because it's going penetrating
through your body. Yeah. Oh my goodness, how exciting.
Yeah. Okay. Are you
I'm
ready?
excited to see this.
All right, awesome. All right, so as we said again, it's all painless, and it's just like a quick little, for them, it just really feels like a massage, but with like a noise in their ear. And this will do anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, depending on the area that we're doing.
You're working on, okay.
So we're just catching up. We're obviously going over their goals. We're going over how their week was. It's a place for decompression. Sometimes we can have a silent treatment. You know, if this is your space, this is your 2 hours or your time, we can do it as you want.
Okay. So for all the shy girls here, you know that you can still be fully, well, not fully dressed, but you can wear like a sports bra and a short.
The area that we're working on, that's all.
Yeah, so you don't feel super shy. So all my shy girls, this is still a good treatment for you. And plus, I'm assuming that they're in a private room when they come to your place and all of that stuff too. And mostly it's women. We did ask to see if there were some men getting these services done, which they are, but it's not.
Not all of them signed the forms to show their before and afters. They're a little shy still. They don't want to say that they're getting these treatments done. Okay. They just want to blame it on the gym, but not us. They don't give us enough credit. Nobody has to know. No face, no case, as they say.
There you go.
We do not post pictures on our profile of your face. So if we ever post you, we never post your face, just the area that got treated.
No face, no case. I like that. I really do like that.
Yeah. So this treatment, the first 5 to 10 minutes, it is really loud for them in their ears. But then after that, they kind of get used to it. Okay. And then if you could see here, you can even see where the fat is right here, right? So that's like more of the stubborn fat. And for them, it's going to get louder. So the louder it gets, the harder the machine is actually zapping and trying to burn any of the fat.
And are you feeling heat or?
No, not at all.
No heat. Awesome.
No, they just hear it. It's the main thing, right?
That's it. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Now we're going to move on to our radio frequency.
Okay.
And this is mainly for the skin tightening as well. And depending on how loose the skin is, will also determine how much time we will give give love to that specific area. For her, because she's she has no excess weight or any BBs. Her skin is really nice and firm and tight. Yeah. But as we're doing any type of weight loss process, we're always going to want to prevent loose skin. So that is what we'll be doing for her to help prevent. So we won't give her as much time because she doesn't need it. Yeah. But it's always good to prevent.
That's so smart. I love how you put that hand in hand, because it's true. You don't want to correct one problem and then come back to
another.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like American medicine. Sorry, y'all, but it's the truth.
A little bit.
Yeah. So you're doing it all. So this is actually, we were just talking about like Durango Power. So we're all from a place called Durango, Mexico. And that's very typical of like Mexican medicine. You go there and they fix all your problems. You don't have to come back as many times as you do here.
Bapuru can't fix this, okay?
Yes.
Even though you can put it inside your faja.
You can. You're like,
it opens up your pores to help you sweat more. And that's another thing. I remember we're talking about, I usually have my girls be on a faja while they're doing their treatments to help mold and sculpt and give your body more of that shape to help the process, because think about it. When we wear like high-waisted pants and you're here, right? The pants is going to cut off here. So this is nice and flat, but then everything's getting pushed down. So this is why the bulge here starts happening. When we wear low-rise jeans, that's where people get the muffin top or the love handles because the fat goes on top of the lines. So with the faja, as you're losing weight, it's actually helping you create a mold where that way it doesn't cut any lines, because for some people when they're wearing like a high-waisted pants, it creates like two stomachs and forms a line here.
Oh my gosh.
So with the
I've
faja,
totally seen that. Yes.
yeah, and with the faja, it helps break that apart. Obviously, we're doing the sculpting to help with that, but it's also going to help even more with the waist trainer. And the waist trainer, don't get crazy. Some people sleep with it. I don't recommend that. But you want to use it as much as you can. I mean, you want to start off slow, 4 hours, and then increase it to 6. And then I usually do my whole 8-hour shift. I'm busy, I forget that I'm wearing it, and it's just something that is there while I'm working.
Oh, yeah.
It also helps with posture. If you're sitting down all day at your desk, it helps with that.
So do you have a specific faja that you recommend? Do you sell them there?
I sell them, at the salon. Yeah, I have a partnership with a specific brand and company. I've tried many different ones, and I don't do crazy pricing because I want everybody to be able to afford them. So we're not in the faja business. We just want you to be able to afford one. So we don't do the Colombian $200-$300 fajas because not everyone can afford those. We do have access to them, but we want something that, because you're going to be going down in sizes, we also want it to be affordable where you can go from a large to a medium to a small and not be like a drastic hit on your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
But they're still really good quality and they work really well. I use them myself. I test everything out before I do any service or treatment or product.
Yeah, and I've totally seen that on your stories. I've totally seen that on your stories.
I'm over there sculpting. This was my best friend after baby, to help tighten up the skin as much as possible. Obviously, the fat burning too, but this is one of my favorites. And this can be done in your whole body.
Yeah.
The cavitation one was only for specific areas where there's enough fat, where there's, like I said before, that you have to have enough fat in the area or else it can start
hitting the bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this could be done all over the body.
Just tighten everything up.
This
is where we were talking about the knees. You know, ladies, I know you know what I'm talking about because I keep hearing this, and it was so funny that she actually brought it up. But you can tighten up that knee skin. You know, all
underarms, your neck.
I'm thinking the neck. Yes. You know, that perimenopause, we start
face and neck, we have different ones. We have smaller ones. So we have this one, which would be right around the eyes and the eyebrows and stuff. And then this is for the face and neck. So we have different radio frequencies. So it can go on different body parts. So this is, you can't, you know, it's a little too much. Yeah, this is specifically done for the face. So we have a few different ones to help target the specific area. But yeah, this is what we're doing. This is radio frequency, and it's going to help tighten, tone, and mainly just trying to retract the skin to produce more collagen.
I love it.
Alrighty, so now we're going to do a little bit of wood therapy. Wood therapy for some can be painful, but it depends on their pain tolerance. But it shouldn't be, the first session we always introduce it in a very nice way. We're like, hey, this is how it's gonna feel. You know, we kind of lead them into, like, give you a 10-second break or whatever. It's like 3 to 5 minutes, and that's it. So, if you had a child, or I'm sure you've gone through more painful things, a wisdom tooth, whatever. Like, there's many things that have been done that are a lot more painful. Yeah, like there's many different things that hurt way more. And this is vitamin E oil.
Okay.
And that's where we're kind of help glide to make the process. That way it doesn't tug on the skin.
Okay.
And we have people that come in just for wood therapy treatments. And this is for people that just want that snatched look to help sculpt. And some people are very square on their waist. And it's to help really kind of break in that, shape that, and sculpt the sides. We mold a waist on you.
Okay.
Like, carve away with the wood therapy.
You guys, so we can all have a waist, is what Nayeli is saying.
Yes, it's in there. It's just sometimes in hibernation.
Yeah.
It's hibernating a little bit. It's keeps you warm.
Yeah, that is so funny.
All right, so I have about 50 different tools, but I only brought 6 just for time. But this one is going to help to break down a little bit of the fat. So we focus mainly on the bottom piece of the area, avoiding the ribs to not, and also avoiding the hip bones. So obviously being conscious of those 2 areas to not make it painful. And like I said, this is not painful. It can be to some depending on like the tolerance, but if you see here, it's not like we're just like going crazy on it.
Yeah.
It's just with moderation here. And every area will be treated differently. That's why we have so many different tools, because everyone has a different shape, and we have literally a wood tool for every shape.
For every shape.
And
yeah.
we could do your whole body. So we do thighs, we do calves, we do inner thighs, we do backs, we do bra fat, we do arms, we have even for your face.
Wow.
So we have everything.
So this right now, what is it actually doing right now?
So we always do this at the end. Then this is what it's doing. It's helping break down the fascia right here. So it's hot from the tool. So we always do it at the end because it's able to sculpt, and it's also promoting more of the lymphatic drainage to help push everything out.
Okay.
So it's sculpting, lymphatic drainage, and molding.
Okay.
So it's doing all of that. And like I said, there are a lot of the tools. So all our clients are always like, oh my God, that's a new one. I'm like, yeah. Anytime I see one that'll help with like a specific area, we will do.
Okay.
And your lymph nodes are right here.
Okay.
So that's where we're pushing everything down.
Right to that point.
Yeah, that way she can go ahead and pee it out and detox her body. So everything that we did today is going to go down to here. And sometimes you can feel it with your hands. We can feel the excess liquid.
Really? Oh my goodness.
I love it when I feel it.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you can hear it, right?
Yeah. So the client too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And then this one.
This is similar to like cupping. Right?
So this one we use at the end to push everything out that we just did to be able to end the session pretty much. So we're just pushing everything that we just did, and we push it once again to the lymph node. That way they can go ahead and dispose of it naturally. And this is Colombian style wood therapy that we do.
Okay.
All right,
I find this
and that
to be
is
so
all on
interesting.
here, and I'm gonna have you turn to your side. That you could turn facing that way, so we could do your side here. And this is where the waist starts in, okay?
The contour. Yeah.
The contouring, yeah. Move your elbow up, hon. And here, this one's obviously gonna hurt a little bit more because it's hitting the bone. We're obviously gonna avoid this here, but we're gonna push this here down. But our goal is to try to get this to be a little bit more slimmed.
Okay. I'm all excited. I'm like, okay, let's see this in action.
And I tell them, I'm like, you want that cintura or not?
Yes.
I'm like, push through it. It's just like 5 minutes, nothing crazy.
I always say, I'm like, I could do anything for 5 minutes.
Beauty is pain, guys. This is the only thing that hurts.
I mean,
And it's
we
like
already know
2 to
this.
3 minutes, like nothing crazy. We just push everything out.
And like we said earlier, you really have to be mentally prepared for all of this in the journey. But I always, when I'm doing something hard, I always say I could do this for how many ever minutes that it needs to last. And you literally can get through it.
Yeah. And then
and
once
it's
you're
worth
done
it.
with your first one, you'll also know what to expect, and mentally you're prepared for it. The first time, that's why we go kind of easy on you because we're introducing it. We're not just going all crazy on the first one.
Yeah.
We're guiding you through it. That way your fears, because you've seen crazy stuff on TikTok or Instagram,
Yes.
kind of go away. And then you feel more comfortable and confident the next time you come in because you'll be able to now know what to expect because you already went through it. Yeah, so this one's a little bit more curved. So this is made for like waist, thighs, top and bottom. So
Okay.
like I said, every tool has a specific reasoning why we use it. But yeah, that is what we do with the wood therapy. I love it. It's a love-hate. You learn to love it after you see it actually sculpting away.
Yeah.
And breaking down like that stubborn fat areas and just really sculpting you.
And what a great workout for you too. I'm
yeah.
thinking this is like for everybody. Yeah, like not only is she benefiting, but so are
I'm
you.
out of breath right now.
Yes. Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely something that is not for everybody because, like I said, pain tolerance for people like this is how we introduce you to the first one. Then after that, we go a little bit more to try to gauge you on the different levels.
Yeah, and obviously the stronger you can manipulate the skin and the tissue, the better results.
Yeah, as we go.
As you go.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. You guys heard it here first. Okay, so let's start. She'll start you off with baby steps.
Yes.
To kind of get you into the the movement, the feeling of all of this. She's not going to just jump right
Yeah,
in.
we educate you, that way you know what it is. And as with time, obviously you start seeing what it's doing. You're like, just go at it, like go harder. Some people
Oh,
yeah, they're like, go harder. I want this to be gone. So
Yes.
yeah.
And as you can tell by our model's face, she's super relaxed and just like enjoying herself. So come in and get snatched because we all need it. We all need it. And it's painless. And even if there is a little bit of pain, you guys, it's worth it.
Totally. More, it's a little bit, like I said, less invasive than actually going through surgery. So this is nothing compared to that.
All right. Well, Nayeli, let's get back and let's finish our little convo.
Okay, perfect.
I'm so excited that we got the opportunity for you to come in and show us what this really is, because I'm sure that a lot of people had the fear, like, what is the pain level? What is the aftercare? All of that. So you've seen it here. You've heard all about it. Let's wrap this up and just finish everything up for our
Yes, perfect. Yeah, so you guys saw a little bit of a snippet of the few things that we offer. There's so many other treatments that we have, but this is just a little preview so you can see and come in.
Awesome. So what a special treat that was, Nayeli. Thank you so much for showing us how everything comes into action. And I absolutely cannot wait to come in and get some treatments done with you, because it was non-invasive, super painless, and actually zero pain and zero time, really, if you really consider all the benefits that we're receiving from these treatments.
Yeah, just a little sneak peek of all the things that we can do.
And now we've reached the end of another insightful episode of Beauty Talk Podcast. A huge thank you to Nayeli from Shape Chicago for coming all the way out here and sharing all of this knowledge with us, and for sharing her expertise on how to help us explore different avenues of how to achieve our perfect little body. So if you have enjoyed this episode and want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on social media and also visit our website at beautytalkpodcast.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, so be sure to leave a review and let us know what topics you'd like to cover next. And of course, share this episode with all your friends, because we all need to know all of this information and help us continue to bring more beauty insights. And a final shout out to our sponsor, G Skin and Beauty Institute. Whether you're looking for a start in the beauty career or elevate your skills, G Skin and Beauty Institute has the resources to help you succeed. So thank you for tuning in, and until next time, stay beautiful and stay confident.